Holy shiz. And the panic buying and hoarding has officially begun. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings, to the We Are Change News Show, where we try to make sense of our irrational, totally backwards, elite, child trafficking controlled society. Yeah, we try to make sense of that somehow. Anyway, in today's video, we will be talking about the panic buying, a lot of the propaganda and disinformation surrounding Donald Trump and the U.S. government's approach to this new coronavirus, and then hopefully we'll have time to talk about the more serious developments happening right now in Turkey. All of which is possible every day for free for you because you guys support us. And one very easy way to support us without even having to spend a single penny, this actually even earns you cryptocurrency, helps protect your privacy, and creates a better, safer internet by simply using the Brave browser, which has already saved me 10.6 hours of my time. And yeah, just by simply using our affiliate code and using this free online browser for 30 days, we get rewarded. And it also creates a very easy way to tip us if you want to tip us. So yeah, check that out if you have some time. It is something we definitely stand by and something that legitimately is a great service. Now, obviously, unless you've been in John Podesta's basement all this time, the world's attention is, of course, on the coronavirus, which has already sparked fear and panic buying all throughout the United States and also all over the world, as people are beginning to prepare for the worst, as the news just came in that the United States had its first death confirmed from the coronavirus, as the United States officially put on more travel restrictions, specifically affecting Iran, Italy, and South Korea in response to the inevitable spread of this virus. Now, the United States is not alone here. Australia and Thailand also reported their first coronavirus death. And then, of course, with every big, great tragedy, we, of course, have people trying to profit off of it, as, of course, we've been exposing people who are trying to push the divide and conquer race agenda because of this, people trying to push their social justice warrior narratives because of this, and of course the mainstream media is using this as, of course, also a political ploy, as they're concentrating on meaningless things like trying to make a big deal that Donald Trump misgendered the first coronavirus victim, with the CDC quickly correcting him. It's also important to note here that the CDC and the executive office have been at odds and have very different talking points when it comes to the coronavirus that they have been publicly telling everyone. Yesterday, we even read a quick headline that talked about how Donald Trump referred to the coronavirus as a Democratic hoax, which Politico and many other mainstream media organizations went on to say that Donald Trump was specifically referring to the coronavirus being a liberal conspiracy intended to undermine his first term in office, just like impeachment and the Mueller investigation, and that has not been true at all. Trump, again, was specifically referring to the politicization of this coronavirus by Democrats, which, yeah, is obviously happening with some politicians, and it's happening also with the mainstream media. And on those two incidences, it is important to point out that, yeah, this was unfair treatment of the executive office, and Trump has a point talking about the dishonest media here, and we will give him this one, but let's also remember that he still should be scrutinized for his decisions, especially the decisions that his administration is making that is increasing the spread of this virus, specifically to Iran, which is the country second heavily hit next to China by this new coronavirus, as the death toll has now spiked to 54 people in Iran, with over an estimated 1,000 people infected. And one of the reasons why Iran is having such a difficult time dealing with the coronavirus is because of U.S. economic sanctions that have economically devastated that country, its own people, with especially medical supplies not being able to come into that country. And we're not just talking about basic medical supplies, we're also talking about specific cancer medications that Iran is denied of, and also important testing kits and other supplies to deal with this virus, which, again, they are not equipped to do so, in big part because of Donald Trump's economic sanctions against that country. Another thing that I believe is a legitimate criticism of the president is also him saying that we're, quote, super prepared. And as you know from our reporting, specifically with the State Department flying in sick people with healthy other individuals on airplanes against the CDC ruling, states complaining about not having enough testing kits and the proper medical equipment to deal with this. The fact that basic medical procedures and protocols are not followed, specifically around the first death, specifically about other individuals who are just sent home that can't be tested for this virus because, again, let's just be honest here and not to panic everyone, but the government is not prepared. You look at government's response to national emergencies, whether it's 9/11 or Katrina within our own recent life, and it's not a good one. It's usually a response that causes more havoc and more pain and suffering on the local populations, and there's no denying that. Again, this is a new virus, a new situation that not many people know how to deal with, and all of this is happening while the U.S. Surgeon General is urging people to, quote, stop buying masks, specifically saying that they are not effective in preventing from people catching this virus. And again, this is again bunk. And honestly speaking, I wish we could stay away from the politicization. I wish we could stay away from just outright lying to the general public, saying super prepared, everything's right. I wish we could just be honest, rational, and calm about this, and we're not. One of the reasons the Surgeon General is telling people not to buy masks is because there might not be enough for their own medical staff and facilities all throughout this country. And they're trying to pin it as this will actually make the virus spread because you don't know how to properly wear this mask. You're going to be touching your face, which is a spreader activity of this virus, which again are good points. But again, forget to mention that they're worried that they won't have enough medical supplies for themselves. And someone that has been wearing gas masks, yeah, there definitely is a proper way to wear them. It's not comfortable, it's not convenient, especially if we're talking about N95 masks and higher that do have some kind of effect preventing the spread of disease and viruses to you. But again, it's also very uncomfortable to breathe in. People should be made aware that they should be washing their hands frequently and not just touching their face after scratching their butt or shaking the hands of someone else who scratched their butt. The other masks that are just paper masks are usually preventative masks that a lot of Asian countries have adopted and have partially worked preventing the spread of disease and viruses in Asian countries. Because again, if you're symptomatic, if you're coughing, if you have the cold or the flu or the coronavirus, you might not even have symptoms of it yet, but you still might be contagious. Preventing the spread of that through you spitting on someone or having particles by wearing a face mask does help prevent the spread of disease. But again, best thing to do if you are sick is to stay home so you don't spread your freaking sickness to everyone else. But if you do have to make contact with other people, and if you are showing any kind of sickness, you should put on a mask just like they do in Asian cultures, and it shouldn't be looked down upon or worrying anyone. It should be something that's appreciated because of someone taking proactive measures not to make other people sick. So yeah, inevitably, this virus will be spreading. More people will be affected by it. We should be implementing the South Korean drive-through testing methods that are a lot safer instead of politicizing this and being absolute idiotic ninnies. And gee, I wonder why people are panic buying and going to Costco and other large retailers and buying up all the supplies that they can. I wonder why that's happening right now. Being, of course, huddled together in close quarter and spaces with other fearful individuals. Yeah, this does not look fun, but again, it's a byproduct of the government and media just being utterly irresponsible in their response to this, which they're going to continue to do. And I'm going to keep telling people not to fear, to be calm, but to always be self-reliant. And then again, most likely everyone will be fine from here, unless you're really old or immune compromised. But essentially, this is just another flu. And hell, even with the flu, take it seriously. In other people coming together in very close quarter news, we of course have the migrant floodgates being open, the PR machines running about this new geopolitical revenge move made by Turkey because NATO and the United States does not support their new war. And because of that, we have chaos around many of the borders in Europe, as an estimated 76,000 migrants just left Turkey, heading for the European Union, with many people expecting close of up to 4 million people to leave that country altogether. Now again, a lot of the mainstream media is not providing proper context to this. They always look out for the single woman or the single child during these incidences, give them all the attention here. But we have to understand, this is creating a lot of chaos, and it will breed more chaos, especially when the weather gets better and when more people will be able to travel with boats. And as a lot of migrants make their way for European socialism and economic opportunity, there of course will be more clashes, which there already is, as many European countries will be having a very difficult time dealing with this new influx and weaponization of migrants, which we're essentially seeing here by the Turkish government that is set on a war and land grab from Syria. And already the situation, as we said, will be escalating, and it has, and it will even from here, as now 2 Syrian jets have been shot down by the Turkish military in Idlib. Turkey is also responding by going after their supposed key Syrian, quote, chemical weapons facility. And we've been hearing this for such a long time. This is absolutely mind-boggling to keep hearing this news, which again is contested from the Syrian side. Turkey has one side of the story, Syria has another side of the story. But obviously Turkey here is trying to ring in NATO and the United States to join its war against Syria and Russia, which of course NATO is not wanting to participate in. And this is why Erdogan specifically is now organizing buses, trains, supplies for the millions of people to move from his country to Europe. There's non-stop TV broadcasts all throughout Turkey promoting this idea. And yeah, that's going to create not a fun situation for the migrants, for the European countries, and is only creating more havoc because of Turkey not having their war, which is absolutely ridiculous. And news of this new influx of migrants should be covered this way, since again, this is weaponized movement of people for political game, and it's nothing else. And that's exactly what it should be called out for, which I doubt any of the kind of mainstream boob heads, prostitutes will actually kind of label. That's my take on it, but if you think I'm wrong, let me know why in the comment section below. I always answer questions within the first hour that a video is out, and if you want to be a part of that conversation, click the notification button and you might be one of the few lucky winners of having a notification about our video, since YouTube doesn't even notify a lot of people who click the notification button. But yeah, that's a whole nother story. We have t-shirts now to make up for the loss of revenue that we've been sustaining from the Ministry of Truth, sorry, Google, like this one that says you had me at F the system. So yeah, because you guys still support us, because you guys still are watching this video all the way up until the end, which means a lot to me. It's very, very important that you guys do that. And because you still do, because you're still here, because I'm still here, this is why I love you guys. Thank you again so much for watching. Stay tuned for more here on WeAreChange.org.